Ahoy there, Captain Benzie here, coming at you excitingly from New Eden. Yes, the final test is here, so we are all flying spaceships on our phone again, and I could not be more excited. My wife and I have made the journey to Bulawayo safely, we have relocated successfully, I've got the internet at long last set up after 6 days of absolute hell trying to get that sorted. I'm back online, making content, thank you guys for your patience. I do look forward to really getting to share this final test with you all. So today what I thought I'd do is sit down and talk about what you should be doing immediately in the final test, how to get started and where to go from there, what the best things to do in this test are. Now, of course, before we jump into this one, if you do enjoy the video, let me know by hitting like on it. Consider subscribing to the channel for all things Eve Echoes, as I am now an official Eve Echoes content creator with NetEase. That's pretty awesome. I'm super stoked to get to announce that at long last. And of course, let me know what kind of topics you'd like to see me cover in future videos, either by finding me down below in the comment section, joining us on social media, or the Catskull Cartel Discord. And more about the Catskull Cartel later in this video. Now, once you start into the game, of course, you will have the option of which of the 4 races you choose, whether you go for the Amarr, the Caldari, the Gallente, or the Minmatar. Ultimately, you'll see a little bit of a description on screen of each of those, of what they actually do and what the main differences is, but once you're in the game, there aren't really any differences at all beyond where you start and what your first sort of half an hour's experience is like. For example, if you start in a Minmatar, you are going to start in a Reaper Corvette, and during the early few seconds, you are going to ultimately dock by a what's it called, a slasher frigate, and that will be your first ship for a brief period of time. With the Amarr, you start off in their little ship, I can't remember what it's called, you'll start with that using lasers in a Mars space, and you'll get that. Caldari will start with the Caldari Corvette, they'll have hybrid turrets, and they'll eventually get something like a Kestrel or a Merlin as they go. So it's just basically where you start. Your actual skills and everything beyond those first 30 minutes doesn't make a difference. But once you're in the game itself, you'll see that here, you'll have obviously your screen like this. Do the tutorials. There are 2 different types of tutorials in the game that are worth doing, and if I tap here on the icon on the left hand side here to bring through to the AI, you'll see that there is of course the basic tutorial. Do this track. You learn a lot through it. It teaches you how the game works and where everything is, and ultimately it just gives you a little bit of ISK to get started with as well, gets that all ticked off and done. You then have advanced tutorials. Now, if you're looking at advanced tutorials, oh, someone's dumped a load of money into the corporation account, that's always nice. If you look into the advanced tutorials, these are kind of almost like if you've played other mobile games where you get daily tasks and that kind of thing, missions, that kind of thing, you just basically do these and they will help you advance. And if you can tap onto each of these, and you'll see that there are different things. So here at advanced tutorial 6, I still need to actually dock and claim my reward. But the kind of thing you'll be expected, you get along the top here, there are necessary missions. So here for Advanced Tutorial 7, I need to upgrade my tech level, which I've done. I've trained a skill, which I've done. And then you have to do one of the optionals. So for example, complete a delivery, completing 20 encounters, sell items on the market up to, I think that's 8 million, 8 or 80 million in value, or getting bounties. I've just been running around doing encounters and getting bounties, and that's got me nicely to Advanced Tutorial 7. You do get some really cool little things from these, like these chips, common ore reprocessing chips. Early on, let's see where they are. Early on, you get a couple of ships straight away. Like here you are, here's the Ship Destroyer command. That will teach you up to Destroyer command level 3 instantly, which is very useful, because once you hit Advanced Tutorial level 3, I think it's 3, you get a choice of Destroyer. No, I'm lying through my teeth. At level 3, at Advanced Tutorial 3, you get a Venture Trainer. Brilliant for all you miners out there. It's Advanced Tutorial 4 then that you get a choice of different Destroyer as to what you go with. And they're sort of tier 2 destroyers, the level 2 destroyers. So, for example, I went for the Talwar Trainer because Minmatar, and yes, I really like those, although the Algos is another great one to go for them. So do make sure that you are going through those tutorials and ticking them off, claiming those rewards as you go. Now, you'll see here that once I hit Advanced Tutorial 6, sorry, 5 has to load first. Once you have completed one of these, you get the little tick, and you get this little almost chain-like icon on the right, which means that these rewards are ready for me to claim. Now, this is Trade level 3, Accounting level 3, and I think it's Freight level 3, yep, there we are. If I dock at a station, I can claim those, and I can train those skills immediately. That's well worth getting into your head early on that you should be doing those. You'll also see that below my character portrait, there are 3 little icons. When you've just jumped into the game, there'll actually be 2 icons and a plus. These are just quick little menus. I can go straight into my inventory, or for me, I can go straight into Corporation, or the third and final one there is Encounters, because I find encounters are a great way to make money. and it's just nice to be able to do those. If you've got the plus icon on the third one, just tap it, and it will bring you to this menu, which I'm going to show you the other way around. If you tap on your face, and then on the cog in the bottom right, it'll bring you to this menu here, where you can see you've got little tick boxes. You can have up to 3 as your quick menus on the top. I know a lot of people haven't actually noticed that. It is very, very useful, saves a nice little bit of time. If you're the kind of person who wants to be checking the market a lot, you might want to might not want encounters, you might want market on there instead and check that, or your planetary production, you might even want your skills, your logistics, whatever it is you fancy. I'm going to keep encounters on because it's what I'm doing at the moment. Now, of course, in the game itself as well, there are a couple of things you are going to want to do as soon as possible. So if I go back into that menu and into skills, before you bother with any of the other skills like mining or with your different turrets, head across to natural science, down to biology, and this super acceleration skill. Now, I'm pretty certain that this skill is not going to be in the finished game. This is just for the final test to help us get as far ahead as possible, really train up quickly, get an idea of what's going on, and to test some of the more advanced features. Because as you can see, once this is at level 5, you get 20 times the manufacturing material efficiency, 20 times the manufacturing time efficiency, 20 times engineering, reverse engineering research speed, reverse engineering success rate is 5 times better, and most importantly for me, 20 times bounty. If you kill a cruiser in the game at the moment, it's like 1.4 million ISK just on the bounty with this, which is insane, and it's a great way to make money very, very quickly. And if I tap on the 5 little skill icons under where it says Super Acceleration Skill, you can see how fast these train. Look at those skill points. That's nothing. You don't need to use any free skill points. There are a couple of free skill point boosters, obviously, you'll get early on. Train these up. The whole thing takes, I think, about half an hour to get all of those up to level 5, and you were at 20 times bounties. Do it. Do it straight away. You can also see Cognitive Neuroscience, not available yet. Obviously, that's the one that you have to pay for. That's where it is in the menus. So yeah, natural science, down to biology, super acceleration skill, get that trained ASAP. Now, second off, of course, if you go into your character again, and then into character in the top left, you'll see that there is an alpha symbol here on the right-hand side, whereas mine is Omega. Now, if you tap on that, it'll actually take you through to the possibility here of upgrading. Obviously, it's 170 plex for the trainer, and it is 430 plex for standard. Thank goodness they changed the name. I hated basic and standard. Trainer and standard is much better. It's trainer, standard, and combination, I think, now, or something like that, which is really good. I like the way that's worded. Ultimately, you can come here to purchase that. But of course, how do you get Plex, since this is not a monetized test phase? Well, that's actually really simple. Tap on your face, go down to Market, which is hiding behind the new applicant post there, and you'll come to the market. Now, this takes a couple of seconds for me to load, but at the top middle is the filter icon. Change that market filter to all items, and then scroll down on the left until you hit Pilot Service. Into Pilot Service, and into Plex. Now, actually, straight away on this one, I hit this little star next to where it says Plex, so that I can very quickly, from this main menu here, tap on Favorites at the bottom, and it will take that up. You can actually do that with anything, just to show you that very quickly, because that's a new feature as far as I'm aware as well. For example, I do want to get a burst eventually. Obviously, there's none on the market yet. I'm therefore going to add that in there as a favorite. Now that that's been added, I can come out, I can scroll down. Are there any other? Yeah, there's a couple of other things I would quite fancy later. Adromiel, of course, let's add that one to the list, and the Worm. Let's add that to favourite as well. Now I can just tap on favourites, and there they are. Now the reason you want to have a look at Plex is because you can actually buy Plex for 20,000 ISK. Now you are going to need 170 Plex, which is a fair amount of ISK, but trust me, it's doable. In 2 days of playing this test, I have managed to get more than enough to actually get that Omega account up and running, the trainer version of it. Now, yes, it's at Jita, and what if you're not near Jita? You don't need to worry, because you always get claim by yourself. That claim by yourself will ship it immediately to your wallet. Now, if you tap on your face here and then go to wallet, you'll be able to see how much ISK and how much Plex you have. I've nuked out my ISK into the corporation account so that we can get our corporation up and running as fast as possible. Plex is on 0, you can see here. Use that to upgrade to an Omega clone. And you can buy that 20,000 a piece, so it's 170 times 20,000. You do the math. I can't be bothered to do that off the top of my head, but 100% you should do that right away so you get full access to everything. Now, ultimately, again, the fact that we've been able to do that on day 1 is not something I expect to be the case once the game is in live. That, to me, is very much just for the state of this test. Now, finally, the last thing I want to discuss today is if you are watching this, I am opening up the Catskull Cartel to anyone and everyone who wishes to join. Obviously, this is not the case for live, for joining the Catskull Cartel Corporation in the live version of Eve Echoes. That will still require an application to be made on our Discord, but otherwise you can come into your corporation menu, you can search for corporations, and you would just look for CSKL. Now, for some reason, it wouldn't let me put in Catskull Cartel with 2 L's and the word cartel, despite that being within the 14 character limit. Whew, that's a tough little sentence to say, but do send an application through on that one. You'll see here that we've already got 28 people in there as well. I'm just going to check if there are any new applications that I need to approve. I am literally just approving all at this point in time. No, my offices are doing really well. Oh, who got rejected? Oh, oh. Not a clue what happened there. I'll have a word later with my offices. But do send an application, you can come join us, and as you can see, chat is already going pretty well. This is, I've read messages 27, goodness gracious me. There we are. So yeah, do come join us, have a bit of fun there. As for where we're based at the moment, simply put, we're not. Because you can't actually do anything in a corporation if it's mortgaged. When you open a corporation, you have an option of spending 200 million ISK in one go, or you can spend 20 million ISK immediately, and then have a corporation wallet of negative 200 million, and you have to pay off before you get a full length of features. So for example, we don't have any offices yet, simply because you can't rent offices, which means obviously there's no cargo bay or anything like that for the corporation until that is all paid off. Now, if you do join the Catskull Cartel, you can come into the corporation menu here, you can tap on here, and you can actually make a donation up in the top left. Obviously, required amount 1 ISK or more. You can see somewhere down here I dropped in the last of all of my ISK. I think it's probably about 196 at the bottom there. It's fairly piddly, is all I had left after opening all of this up. But again, this is just for the duration of the test. Once the game is live, it will be based on the applications. Now, of course, I have got my Thrasher 2 ready to go. I'm going to be doing some ratting. If you're looking for a quick way to make some money in the early days of the beta, then of course going into your encounters and doing any combat encounters is a great way to do it. Of course, if you go into the overview, which is on the right hand side of the screen here, this little eye, and pull that out, it's just loading in, you can go to down to Cosmic Anomaly and look for things like the Angel Small Anomalies, or there'll be things like Sanchez Small Anomaly or Guristas Small Anomaly. Go in there, blow stuff up. Not only do you get some really interesting loot from some of those guys, like decent cannon parts or new like ship parts, that kind of thing, but you will also get a lot of money for the bounty, especially if you have actually upgraded your skills and got that full biology all the way up to level 5, the advanced acceleration or whatever it's called. You will be making a lot of money there. Oh, and someone else is just 20,000 ISK. Oh, crikey. I don't expect people to be dropping a lot of ISK. Obviously, it'll be nice to test these features and get a feel for what a corporation can actually do in Eve Echoes, but that's another thing for another time. Anyway, folks, I think I've gone over just about everything that I wanted to say of what you can and indeed should be doing during the beta. Obviously, use this time to test different things. Don't just go, oh, I know this is what I'm going to do in live, so I'm just going to have fun doing that. Try all kinds of different stuff. I'm going to be going around here, and I did a lot of stuff during the main beta, but I do suggest you try mining, you try hauling, you try different weapon types. I've seen people who have actually gone, oh, actually, I used missiles because everyone told me they were really cool, and that's, that they were so overly powerful in the beta that that's what everyone was doing. But I've actually tried lasers, and I really like that playstyle, or I really like blasters or drones or something like that. So 100% get out there, try some new different things. Give it a whirl. This is all going to be reset come launch anyway, at the end of this week. So just have fun, blow some stuff up, get blown up, and I'm sure toward the end of the week I will be doing a big blowout where we all just destroy our ships for the last time. Anyway, folks, again, thank you ever so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the Catskull Cartel, or at least flying around New Eden. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Let me know what you want to know all about this, and I'll see what I can do videos on while this beta is up and running. Otherwise, folks, happy sailing, and see you in New Eden.